of turn number 4. Off the corner they come. Mark Jennison and Mike Brayman bring the field down. Green flag is out. We're underway.
Down the back they go, side by side for the lead down into turn number 4. Look at this battle off the corner. Jennison, Brightman battling neck and neck down into 1 and 2. Vanessa up into that third spot as they race down the back. Brightman with the advantage into 3.
Brightman looking for the top spot as they hit 3 and 4. He and Jennison racing wheel to wheel as the 11 of Brian Vanessa is in the third spot. Spencer fourth, and they are stacked up double wide from 5th on back. Jennison continues to work that inside lane. They race off of turn number 4, 3 laps up on the board, and the difference is 61 thousandths of a second.
Brightman was so close to a win last week, battled and battled and battled to the last few laps when he came up just a little short. That 27 has some speed, and he's showing it now up at the outside of Mark Jennison as he has the advantage through 1 and 2. Brightman trying to clear Jennison loose. Jennison reels him back in into 3, and he looks to take the lead off 4.
Jennison drifted up just a little bit down the back stretch, and that's going up to Brightman, and that gives the double deuce at the top of the leaderboard. Brightman battles back down the back stretch as the 11 of Vanessa continues to hang tight in the number 3 spot. 4th now is Scully with the deuce, and the 14 of Mark looking for 5th underneath. Spencer off at 2.
Down the back they go, but it's still side by side. Brightman and Jennison as they roll through the corner. Ryan Van Ness looking to stick his nose underneath, thinking about 3 wide. If he can get there just a little short, he's going to roll back into that third spot. And here comes Tom Scully Jr. looking to take advantage of Van Ness having to check up a little bit down to the bottom through 3 and 4 for that third spot off turn number 4.
This is where Jennison has to be careful. He's drifting up that corner just a little bit to slow up the momentum of Brightman, but what that does is that opens up the inside lane, and I would not be surprised to see somebody jump down low and try to take advantage of it. No need now, because Brightman is able to shut the door down in turns 1 and 2.
Down the back they go. Brightman takes sole possession of the lead. Here comes Scully down to the bottom of Jennison, looking to take that second spot away. They roll off turn number 4. Behind him, side by side, it's Martin. Underneath the 11 of Vanessa. Dave Darling now gets by Kuhn, now challenges Vanessa to get into the top 5. Darling underneath the 11 as they race off of 4.
Off of 4 they come. Jennison a little bit loose. Scully works that bottom down into turn number 1. He's got Martin and Darling on his tail as they head down the back straightaway. The 46 of Estrella, the 72 of Kuhn lining up on the inside as Spencer continues to Vanessa continues to backslide on the top side.
Down the back, Mike Brightman's opened up a 4-car length lead over Tom Scully Jr. Rick Martin now underneath Jennison for that third spot with Dave Darling right there in tow on that bottom lane. Darling move his way up into the top 5, now looking for 4th underneath Jennison. He pulls up alongside. Martin rockets into that third spot. Here comes Darling underneath Jennison for 4th as they race off turn 4 across the stripe. He clears them.
Top 4, Jennison back in 5th with Estrella 6, Kuhn sitting in 7th. They continue to chase the number 27 of Mike Brightman. The high-tech he continues to have about a 4-car length advantage over Tom Scully Jr.
Off the corner they come, single file your top 4. Now spoke a little too early there. Dave Darling shoots down to the bottom of Martin, but Martin shuts that door as they exit out of turn number 2. Again, a longer race. 40-something laps to go. This doesn't mean you got to rush. Dave Darling's taking his time trying to pick off everybody. Could have had an opportunity of Martin there. Martin shut the door. Dave backed off. Realizes he has 43 laps to gain these 3 positions.
Darling drifts up a little bit going into the corner, tries a crossover move coming off the corner. Signature move for 12 years, and it's worked 90% of the time. Hold on to 3 and 4 they come. Top 4 cars, nose to tail. Scully, little by little, closing in. They have closed in about 3 cars down. Deeper in the pack, Ryan Vanessa working the inside of Mark Jennison. Jennison caught on the outside of the turn number 3.
Yeah, Ryan Vanessa sliding back a bit, but battling it out with Mark Jennison. The 0 of Spencer right on his rear bumper, and that is a battle for 7th as Vanessa holds it. Spencer now underneath Jennison for that ace spot. Battle on the track coming out of turn number 4 as they race across the stripe. There's Ryan Lynham in 10th right now. Lynham usually fast week in and week out, stuck in the back right now. The extended race will help as he's going to try to pick off one by one and move his way up.
2 car lengths is now the difference between 1st and 2nd, making just about closed up on the back bumper of Brightman. They continue to run plastic laps around the 3rd mile oval. Scully up on the back bumper as they hit turn number 3.
Down into 3 and 4 they go. Tom Scully giving Mike Brightman all the pressure he can handle, and now down into turn number 1. Scully looks for the lead underneath Brightman as they race off of 2. Brightman with a great run on that outside lane. He's going to clear Scully, drop back down to the bottom. Brightman holds on to the lead. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Brightman, Scully, Martin, and Darling down into 1.
Well, they fight back and forth. Martin and Darling closed in on the fight for the lead. Here comes Estrella and Hume. One more time, Scully down to the inside. Battle for the lead off of turn number 2. Scully on the inside. Brightman up top. They're wheel to wheel at the top of the field. Laurel off of turn number 4. 27 laps up on the board. And Scully finds himself at the top of the leaderboard.
Tom Scully Jr., what a pass.
Back to turn number 4. Pellin goes around. And that pass for the lead will come right back in the next 34 laps. Cal Niederberger looks the field over as they get ready to roll off of turn number 4. Brightman and Scully battling across the stripe, down into 1 and 2. Scully working the outside as they come off the 2nd corner.
A little bit of checkup pushes the rest of the field back a bit as the top 5 start to break away. It's Estrella in that 5th spot, down to the bottom, pushing Rick Martin, who looks low underneath Brightman. 3 wide for the lead, down into 1. Martin, Brightman, and Scully with the advantage to the outside. He takes the lead and takes Martin with him.
Radical Rick works the bottom lane, squeezes underneath up into the 2nd spot. Then Tom Scully Jr. sets the pace. Trouble for Colby Fournier off the front straightaway. He spins down to the infield, and we're getting slowed up again. Last lap for him. Field is set. 32 laps remaining. We get ready to roll off turn number 4. Scully and Martin. And Martin trying to take over the top spot. Watch Dylan Estrella sitting in 3rd as they hit turn 3. Martin powers. Scully battles back. Estrella looks for over. Martin to the top of the leaderboard.
Down through 1 and 2 they go side by side. It's Martin and Scully racing down the back with Estrella and Darling in tow. Down through 3 and 4 they go. Bumper to bumper. They are touching down into 1 and 2. Martin with the advantage through the corner.
And here comes Darling squeezing his way underneath Dylan Estrella up into 3rd. He wants to be part of that fight. And here comes Scully back on the inside. 2 hard-charging drivers, not afraid to give it or take it. Battling for the lead, down into 3 and 4. Scully takes over the lead. Martin now has Darling down to the inside.
They race down the back. It is Scully to the lead now. Darling and Rick Martin will battle for that 2nd position. Darling down to the bottom. He's side by side with Rick Martin across the stripe. Down into turn number 1 they go. Side by side, wheel to wheel, but Darling gets a good run off turn number 2. Classic Dave Darling into 3 in that 2nd spot. A great exit out of the corner. Now sets his sights on the 2 of Tom Scully Jr.
Here comes Estrella down to the inside. Martin, here goes Darling taking a look to the inside of Tom Scully Jr. 2 second-generation racers. Well, a 2nd and a 3rd-generation racer having at it for the lead. Battle for 3rd. Dylan Estrella down underneath Rick Martin.
Side by side for that battle for 3rd. It is Estrella to the inside of Rick Martin. Martin doing his best to hold on to that outside, but the Everts Auto Parts number 46 comes off turn number 4, will take 3rd position away, and here comes Brightman now challenging on that bottom of Rick Martin. Gets the nose right up on the bumper there, has a run underneath, but Martin's able to shut that door into turn number 3.
Darling sneaks a peek down underneath Tom Scully Jr. Tom made one little slip up. Darling takes advantage, battle for the lead down the back straightaway, sees Darling roll down to the front of the leaderboard and sets the pace with 12 laps remaining. 21 laps remaining.
Down the back they go. It is Dave Darling with now a car length lead over Tom Scully Jr. 3 car lengths back to Estrella in 3rd, and Mike Brightman and Rick Martin. The battle for 4th is on. A good run out of turn number 4 for Brightman down to the bottom. He pulls up side by side with Rick Martin. They race down the back they go. Martin with the advantage into 3 and 4. Brightman holding strong in that bottom with Ryan Kuhn in tow off 4.
Martin continuing to roll the outside lane down into turn number 3. Brightman gets a little bit crossed up. Martin slides up the racetrack. Here comes the 27. He's running fourth as they head off with turn number 2. Martin continues to hang tight up top.
Down across the front they come. It's Darling leading the way once again, but that battle for 4th is still hot and heavy. With Ryan Kuhn trying to get in the mix now all over the rear bumper of Brightman. Opportunity down below, not going to make it work. Martin able to shoot down to the bottom and hold off Mike Brightman. Here comes Kuhn now to the bottom of Brightman for that 5th spot. Down through 1 and 2, side by side down the back.
Brightman set up the racetrack. Kuhn jumps in underneath and takes over the 5 spot as they come off of turn number 4. Dave Darling dominating this one with 15 laps remaining. Has found himself a 5-car length advantage over Tom Smoley Jr., Dylan Estrella, Rick Martin, and Ryan Kuhn. The top 5 Kuhn going to work on Martin off of 4.
Down to back they go. Darling continues to lead the way. A big gap from 3rd to 4th in that battle for 4th. Here comes Ryan Kuhn. Pulls up side to side underneath the 14 of Rick Martin as they race through 1 and 2. Kuhn looks to get past the 14 with Mike Brightman in tow in the battle for that 4th position. Side by side still. What a battle here is Kuhn. Comes off the corner into turn number 1. Ryan Kuhn looks for that 4th spot. Rick Martin will not give in, but he loses that spot now into turn number 3.
Brightman trying to repay the favor down the inside. Martin was able to cut the door while they bring it in from Ryan. Minus looking at the distance there. Trying to fight his way up inside the top 6. Down across the stripe. 10 laps to go. Dave Darling continuing to dominate this one. Running qualifying time around the 3rd mile. As he puts the 52 through his pace to the top of the leaderboard.
Down the back they go. It is Darling continuing to lead. And he's been fast all year, trying to make it our 3rd 4-time winner of the season. Dave Darling. 8 car lengths over 2nd place Tom Skelly Jr. Another 5 or 6 back to Dylan Estrella as they roll off turn at number 4. Darling continues to lead through 1 and 2.
7 laps remaining. 6 laps to come. Goes down the back. The field has sprung itself out around the 3rd mile. Darling putting a clinic on here tonight with Scully and Estrella, your top 3 deep in the pack. They're racing for position. That is the 3 of Colby Fournier, the 12 of Bobby Keller, racing side by side. That is for position number 12.
Rolling off the corner once again. It is your leader, Dave Darling. 5 laps to go as he's rolling through some lap traffic here. Got by the 1 of Stanfield. Now comes up on a battle with Bobby Pelland in the 3 of Fournier. Darling has nowhere to go. He's going to have to sneak to the bottom, make it 3 wide here. And he does. Pelland backs out. A smart move there. Don't want any trouble with the leader as they race down the back. Twin sticks in the air, 2 to go.
Well, that's a tough position to be in because those 2 drivers are racing for position. Now they've got to somehow get single file, and it's no courtesy when you're racing for position. It's not, oh, you go ahead of me. It's no, you let me go. White flag is out. Final time around for Dave Darling as he leads the charge down into 1 and 2. Smooth as silk. Brightman sideways off of 4. Down to the infield, out of the way. Off the corner. Dave Darling picks up win number 4. Scully will finish 2nd. 3rd going to Dylan Estrella. Ryan Kuhn 4th. And Rick Martin rounding out the top 5.
After 60 laps, and we'll go over to our 3rd place finisher, Dylan Estrella. Dylan, a good run for 3rd place. Once you got up there, they were just gone.
Yeah, Mike, he gives me times on where everybody is. It seemed like we're pretty even, just a little too snug there. Wish we were just a little bit freer in center. Probably would have been a little bit better, but I can't thank my guys enough. You know, they bust their tails for me. and we had a pretty good piece. P3, it's nothing to hang our head about.
A good run for third. I know you got some people you want to thank.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a big thank you to the fans. It's awesome to see you guys again. Miss Carolyn, Roy, Bob, Everett's Auto Parts, Everett's Tire Center, J&R Precast, Dad, Jim, Mike, Matt, Liz, Jason, thanks for coming. Grammy, it's awesome to see you. Uncle Billy, Mom, Brittany, I can't forget my fiance Megan, and Kevin and Garrett. Y'all are the best. I appreciate you.
All right, Dylan Estrella finishing third here tonight. Tom Scully Jr. with a great run for second. Tom, you got out front, was able to lead some laps, but man, it is difficult to hold off that 52.
Yeah, I was tight too. I try to use as less brake and less turn the wheel to keep the tires on it, but hey, he's got it down right now.
Cars looked as good as it has all year earlier tonight. I know you got some people you want to thank for getting you back to where you were.
Yeah, the car's last 2 weeks, the body got ripped off it. Distance Racing Chassis put it back together for us twice and just as fast. I like to thank Woodruff Brothers, Simpson Auto Care, Helges, South Coast Power Equipment, Raps Auto Parts, Distance Race Cars, my dad, my crew. Guys are awesome. That's all I can think about.
All right, Tom Scully Jr. finishing second, and for the fourth time in Everett's Auto Parts victory lane, how about a round of applause for dominating Dave Darling? Well, after this year, we're going from dynamite to dominating because, man, you are almost unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hats off to everyone that works on the car, Distance Chassis, even the guys you race with. Everybody's racing clean. They're doing what they need to do. They're trying to hold us off, and we're trying to get by them, and I'm trying not to race them like, how I don't want to be raced. So, I think it's good, hard, clean racing. Obviously, the extra laps help us get some time to get there and stuff like that. And but these guys are racing real clean. Everybody's gotten quicker. It looks a little easier than it is.
It definitely looks easier, and I know it's not. But, man, this thing has just been stout from the first practice, and to the point you've even taken out the backup car to try to get that close, but there's no touch in the yellow car.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then you just get a car that just goes, and this is one of those. I mean, we have other cars that go just as good, but this one, we know what we got. It's consistent, comfortable, and so, it's hard to leave it in the garage at home. We try to get better and do things a little different, but, this thing does real good for us. I mean, and Jeff Bellier's, credit to him, Ron Pond, Gary Johnson, all the crew guys, Kevin and Callanan, Kevin Rodriguez, Tom Banker. I got to thank, my family for coming every week, Diane for her support, all the kids here, my Kevin's my cousin, so his wife brings the little guy, KJ, and so, it's a family affair. It's right down the road, so.
Congratulations. Win number 4 in the season. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Our top 3 for our Pro Stocks here tonight. Third place to Dylan Estrella. Second place to Tom Scully Jr. And our winner, Dave Darling. That's all we've got for you here tonight. What a great night of action we've had. Want to send a big thanks out to Sandra and the entire team over at DAI Restore for joining us here as part of our 75th anniversary celebration. Hope to see more of them in the upcoming weeks and years here at the Action Track of the East. Wednesday night, the annual Boston Louis Memorial for the NEMA Midgets. On hand, 29 laps for the NEMA Midgets, 50 for the NEMA Lights, and the ISMA Super Modifieds. On hand for the first time in oh so long, the fastest short track cars in the world turning 10-second laps around this racetrack. It is going to be awesome. Come on down and join us. And next Saturday, we're back at it. Hopefully in between there. Fast Friday, we get some good weather. Get that kicked off this coming Friday as well. On behalf of the staff and management here at the Seekonk Speedway and for the family of the late D'Anthony and Irene Vendetti, for Doug Sheehan, I'm Kevin Boucher saying thank you for joining us here tonight. Drive carefully and remember to support those who support the sport.